Welcome back to Ride 360. Today we're talking about a motorcycle that doesn't whisper, doesn't politely ask for attention, and definitely doesn't care about trends. The 2026 Yamaha VMAX 1700 V4 is pure attitude on two wheels, a machine that feels like it was built to flex its muscles at every red light and stretch the horizon every time you twist the throttle. The VMAX name has always meant brute force, straight-line dominance, and a kind of street presence that makes even seasoned riders stop and stare, and the 2026 version keeps that legacy alive while sharpening it for a modern world. The moment you look at the VMAX 1700, you feel it. This bike looks heavy, aggressive, and unapologetic, like it's crouched and ready to launch even when it's parked. The wide stance, massive air scoops, muscular fuel tank, and fat rear tire all send one clear message: this thing means business. Yamaha hasn't tried to turn the VMAX into a sleek sport bike or a relaxed cruiser. It still lives in its own category, somewhere between a muscle bike and a power cruiser, and that's exactly why it's special. At the heart of the 2026 Yamaha VMAX is the legendary 1700cc V4 engine, and honestly, this engine is the soul of the bike. It's not just about numbers, though the numbers are wild. It's about how the power feels. Twist the throttle and the bike doesn't just accelerate, it lunges forward with a deep, mechanical roar that sends chills down your spine. The V4 layout gives it a unique sound and character, smooth yet savage, refined but absolutely explosive when you ask for it. Yamaha has fine-tuned the engine for 2026 to be more responsive while staying reliable, making sure that every pull of the throttle feels immediate and addictive. One of the most iconic features of the VMAX is the V-Boost system, and yes, it's still here. When the revs climb, the system opens up additional airflow, letting the engine breathe deeper and hit harder. The result is a surge of power that feels almost unreal, like the bike suddenly decided to unlock a hidden level. It's the kind of acceleration that makes you laugh inside your helmet and remind yourself to stay respectful, because this motorcycle demands it. Despite all that raw power, the 2026 VMAX isn't a wild, uncontrollable beast. Yamaha has worked on refining the electronics to make the experience smoother and more confident. Throttle response feels more polished, power delivery is strong but predictable, and the overall ride feels planted. This is still a heavy bike, no doubt about it, but the weight gives it stability, especially when you're riding straight and fast, which is exactly where the VMAX loves to live. The riding position is classic VMAX. You sit low, with your feet slightly forward and your arms reaching out to a wide handlebar. It feels commanding, like you're sitting in the cockpit of a muscle car rather than perched on a traditional sport bike. Long rides are surprisingly comfortable thanks to the well-padded seat and relaxed posture, although this bike is clearly more about thrilling bursts of speed than all-day touring. It's the kind of motorcycle that turns every short ride into an event. Suspension on the 2026 Yamaha VMAX has been updated to handle its massive power even better. The front forks feel solid and confidence-inspiring, while the rear suspension keeps the bike stable under hard acceleration. This isn't a bike you buy to chase corners like a supersport, but it handles better than many people expect. On sweeping roads and smooth curves, the VMAX feels surprisingly composed, and with the right rider input, it can be genuinely fun through bends. Braking is another area where Yamaha hasn't held back. The VMAX comes equipped with powerful dual front disc brakes that deliver strong, consistent stopping power. When you're riding a bike with this much acceleration, you need brakes you can trust, and the VMAX delivers. The braking feel is firm and reassuring, giving you confidence whether you're slowing down from high speed or just cruising through city traffic. Speaking of the city, riding the VMAX in urban environments is a unique experience. It's big, it's wide, and it definitely commands attention. People notice it, cars give it space, and other riders often come up just to talk about it. It's not the most nimble bike for tight traffic, but that's not really the point. The VMAX is about presence, power, and personality, and even at low speeds, it has all three in abundance. The exhaust note on the 2026 VMAX deserves its own moment. Deep, throaty, and unmistakably V4, it sounds like controlled thunder. It's not overly loud from the factory, but it has a rich tone that perfectly matches the bike's aggressive character. Every twist of the throttle comes with a soundtrack that reminds you why internal combustion engines still have such emotional appeal. Yamaha has also brought subtle modern touches to the 2026 model without changing the VMAX's classic identity. The instrument cluster is clean and easy to read, blending analog style with digital information. You get all the essentials right in front of you, presented in a way that feels purposeful rather than flashy. This bike isn't about screens and gimmicks, it's about the ride. Fuel efficiency isn't the main focus here, and let's be honest, if you're buying a VMAX, you already know that. The 1700cc V4 likes fuel, especially when you're enjoying its power, but that's part of the deal. This motorcycle is about smiles per gallon, not miles per gallon, and it delivers those smiles in massive amounts. What really sets the 2026 Yamaha VMAX apart is its character. In a world where many bikes are becoming lighter, smaller, and more tech-focused, the VMAX proudly remains big, bold, and unapologetic. It doesn't try to be everything to everyone. It knows exactly what it is, a straight-line monster with a legendary engine and a design that refuses to blend in. For experienced riders, the VMAX offers a thrilling, almost addictive experience. The power is always there, waiting, and every ride feels special. For newer riders, this bike might be intimidating, and honestly, it should be. The VMAX demands respect, maturity, and self-control. Treat it well, and it rewards you with one of the most memorable riding experiences you can have. On the highway, the VMAX feels like it's barely working. Cruising at speed is effortless, the engine smooth and relaxed, with plenty of power left in reserve. Overtakes are instant, requiring just a small twist of the wrist. It's the kind of bike that makes long, open roads feel shorter and more exciting. Ownership of a VMAX is also about being part of a special group. This isn't a bike you see on every corner, and that exclusivity adds to its appeal. Riders who choose the VMAX usually do so because they want something different, something bold, something that makes a statement every time they ride. The 2026 Yamaha VMAX 1700 V4 is not about following trends or chasing lap times. It's about raw power, iconic design, and an emotional connection between rider and machine. It's about feeling that surge of acceleration, hearing that V4 growl, and knowing you're riding a legend that has stayed true to its roots while evolving just enough to stay relevant. So if you're the kind of rider who loves torque, presence, and a bike that feels alive beneath you, the 2026 VMAX might just be your perfect match. It's a motorcycle that turns every ride into a story and every stop into a conversation. That's the magic of the VMAX, and Yamaha has made sure that magic is very much alive in 2026. Thanks for riding with us today, and as always, stay safe, ride smart, and keep the passion alive here at Ride 360.